Hey, welcome back to the Side Startup Club, where we are launching a real-life startup step by step, and this video is all about the business model element cost structure. So we just completed the business model element key partners, and we're ready for our final element, which is costs or cost structure. And if you followed along closely, this is going to be a very easy step for you, especially if you did your key activities and your key resources in Excel. Basically, for key activities, we had this work breakdown structure, and then for key resources, we identified 4 different types of resources that might go into every key activity, and all we are going to do here is sum those rows up. So before I get to my actual numerical analysis of my cost structure, one thing you want to do is identify your cost advantage. Pretty much my biggest and only cost advantage over my competition is the fact that I live here and I'm experiencing a lot of the content I'm putting into the website just naturally in my day-to-day life. So it doesn't take as much energy and time and resources for me to stay up to date on my website. As far as where do I land on the cost versus value driven perspective, my solution is definitely more towards the value driven side of the spectrum, and this is really where you want to be. I'm not basing my revenue model off of my costs. My revenue is based on the value that I'm providing to my different partners and customers. And where do I land on the discount versus premium spectrum? I'm right in the middle. I am not undercutting my competition's costs or price points, and I'm also not this luxury full service solution. So that puts me right in the middle, and that's a perfectly fine place to be. There isn't a right or wrong when it comes to where are you on this spectrum. So now we're ready to get into the real numerical analysis of my cost structure. And the way to do this, as I kind of mentioned, is you look at your key activities and you look at your key resources, and you're just going to sum some of the financial inputs as well as some of the human resource inputs that require time. And you do this for the fixed cost or fixed activities as well. So this is how you can structure your costs. And for me, I have a short-term plan and a mid-term plan, so I have costs associated with both, and I have variable costs and fixed costs. So first, in the short run, I have about $125 to $200 a month to run this. Most of that is hiring my SEO person to keep up on the backlinking, and then to maintain my affiliate marketing relationships and update content to the website. I figured this is going to take probably 3 days a month to do that adequately. So it doesn't seem so bad on the surface, but we're going to come back to this. For fixed costs, I think to get the initial product out there, it's a little further than an MVP, but it's not the full product. Between the themes and a little bit of development costs and a little bit of SEO outsourcing, I'm going to spend roughly $900, and doing all the research and the content creation and some of the web development myself, each one of those things is going to be about 1 week, so I'm estimating roughly 3 to 5 weeks of putting together the entire website start to finish. And in the midterm, this is just going to bump up a little bit. It's mostly an automated system, so my final product still doesn't have that many variable costs, but the e-commerce side of things and the with local side of things mean there's going to be a little more content to update, and there's going to be a few more relationships to maintain. So that's where you see the bump in money and hours there. And then in the fixed costs, in order to get from my initial website rollout to the final website, we're looking at spending a total of roughly $1,500 with all the plugins, themes, and development. And I think total it's going to take 6 to 9 weeks. Now, like I said, on the surface, these dollar amounts don't seem very bad, but you should not underestimate or undervalue the time you have to put into this, because everything we do comes at an opportunity cost. And if I were to monetize my opportunity cost, I would just throw out $40 an hour is what I could be doing if I spent my time on other activities. So this short-term variable cost actually comes out to nearly $1,000 a month to operate this website. And to set up that initial website is a little over $7,000. And in my steady state when I'm running this website, I think it's going to cost me about $1,200 to maintain and operate this company. And to set up the company in its entirety is a total of $13,500. So when I look at it in terms of this, it's significantly higher than the initial value you see here for just the actual money coming out of my pocket. So that completes our cost structure element, and now we have completed the entire business model canvas. And we're ready to go on to a profit analysis and see if this opportunity is worth pursuing or not. And if it's not worth pursuing, what are some of the value-based management techniques where we can manipulate certain elements or pivot certain ideas in order to make this a profitable venture? Before we get to that profit analysis video though, I want to review this entire business model really quickly in its entirety. So that's what's going to be on the next video. So if you want to see the whole process we went through, start to finish, stay tuned for the next video.